Hi, this is Muhammad Amin Khatri from Shri Guru Kubra Vidya Sankul, and today we are going to learn as a subject of Standard 10. In Standard 10 we are learning about the chapter number 3, Cultural Heritage of India. In this we are learning sculpture and architecture. So you all know that India is very rich in culture and heritage, and it's a unique identity of India. You all know that India is very rich in culture and its heritage also, that we have a lots of stupas, stone inscriptions and mosques and many more things as a culture and heritage. So it's definitely unique identity of India, or we can say that India has a different or very systematic town planning. So if we look up the Indus Valley civilization, it has a very best town planning. So what is the mean of a sculpture here? Sculpture means carve the feelings on a stone. So here the words feeling. So we are thinking, we are learning the feeling. India is very good in feeling. So we are learning, we are carving the feelings on stones and woods or on a metal. So we are not just making and hitting the chisel and a hammer, but we are printing our heart feeling on the stones and carves, stone and wood and metal. So we are learning about the exactly definition of sculpture. It is the art of a shaping figure or design with facial expression in round or in relief professionally performed by the sculpturer with the help of a chisel and hammer is known as a sculpture. So you can understand the chisel. Chisel is kind of this type of tool and hammer. Here hammer. So if we are using this both tool to making any sculpture. As far as architecture is concerned, the art of architecture is the art of a construction, and in Sanskrit, Vastu word is used for the architecture. Art of a construction building, houses, town, well, forts, minarets, temple, mosque and tombs is called architecture. So we are constructing the building, but if we designing it very beautifully, we can convert it into architecture. So skill of architecture is seen in the art of his architecture. So की जो skill है that we can see in his architecture. If we look at the ancient Indian town planning, India is very expertise in field of town planning. If we look at the Indus Valley civilization, we have a very systematic town planning. There is a citadel and upper layer and lower layer. So here the same thing we are learning. Many were found during the excavation work. So when we are digging or we are exhibition of the ancient site, we found three things. One, fort of a ruler. Second, house of administrator. And third, residence of a common people. So if we look at these three things, on the very top layer, there is the houses of ruler. And then there is the houses of administrative department. And third, there is a houses of a residence. Okay, so in ancient town planning, it is divided into three area. That is first, fort of a ruler, that is called citadel. Then houses of administrative officer, or we can also call upper part of the town. And then residence of a common people. So if you look at the fort, upper part of the town, safe and protected with the house of having 2 or 5 rooms. If you look at the upper part of the town, जहाँ forts बने होते, तो forts always protected with the house having forts are upper part of the town and safe and protected. जो अपर पार्ट होता है वो हमेशा सेफ रहता है. जैसे हम लोगों ने देखा यहाँ पर अपर पार्ट ऑफ द इट्स द हाउसेस ऑफ रूलर. इट इज ऑलवेज कवर्ड विद द one long wall, and after that there is the houses of administration. This long wall always protect the ruler with the attacks. In the lower part there is the houses of a common people, and that made with the common, or we can say handmade bricks. So here is the some execution work of the Mohenjo-daro. It's a Mohenjo-daro. and you can see here is the upper part. Okay, this is the citadel, and then we have a administrative department, and then we have a common person room. Okay, so here a residential, you can see these are the bricks that are used for the common houses, and this citadel is made in the stones. So people of Indus Valley civilization have developed more beautiful and systematic town. So with this we can understand that people of Indus Valley civilization has developed more beautiful and systematic town than many other civilizations of the world from the architecture point of view. If we look at the architecture point of view, the Indus Valley civilizations people made a very beautiful and very systematic houses. Among all of them, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro had the best town planning. Among all of them, Harappa and Mohenjo, these two cities has a very best town planning. So let us look at the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro architecture. So first we are learning about Mohenjo-daro. See, Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro means the heap of death. The heap of dates. And we can also call it Mohenjo-daro, or we can also call it Mohenjo-daro. So these two pronunciation we can use in examination. You can write Mohenjo-daro also, you can write Mohenjo-daro also, you can write Mohenjo-daro also. These three terms can be used the same words for the heap of dates. So in 1992, Rakhaldas Banerjee and Dayaram Sani found remains of huge town planning during the excavation. Rakhaldas Banerjee and Dayaram Sani started excavation at the Mohenjo-daro under the guidance of Sir John Marshall and Colonel Mick. Jharkhand district, now it's in Pakistan, of Mohenjo-daro. So right now Mohenjo-daro is situated in the Pakistan area, and its district is the Larkhan district. Locals sometimes found the bones of a human as well as animals, sometimes along with the utensil and household items. So where there are excavations, they found bones of a human as well as bones of an animal. But they are finding, when they are executing the Mohenjo-daro, they often found the bones of animals and bones of the human beings. That's why they use the heap of dead. So if we talk about the construction of a town planning, or we can also call municipal composition, the best in construction, Mohenjo-daro is very best in construction, and it also have a houses with the plinth with the protection from flood. So plinth, this is the plinth. Okay, this is the plinth. This plinth is used for protection from flood. As we all know that Indus Valley civilization is situated at the bank of the river, and it is always possibility of the flood, and that's why they build their house making the pillar with the highest, and then they build their house. Okay, in the rich people there is having a 5 to 7 room, and their building are always in 2-story, while if we talk about the poor people, they have a 1 or 2 room and the 1-story building. From the excavation of the Mohenjo-daro, we found houses and kitchen and bathroom with the proper arrangement of a door and window to keep house airy and ventilated. So they always build a house with the proper arrangement of a door and the window. That makes their houses airy and ventilated. मतलब ये होता है कि उनके घर के अंदर जो बार बार हवा और प्रकाश आना चाहिए, वो प्रकाश और हवा इस विंडो और डोर से आते रहते हैं. If we talk about the roads are 9.75 meter wide road. Their wideness of the road is 9.75 meter. Even small roads meet major roads at the right angle. So their constructions are like this. They have societies here, and these are the street road, and their main road is always making right angle. Enough wide road to pass the vehicle. Even somewhere they find the pits. So here they find the pits. So we can say with the pits they have a street light. They have a street light. Roads are straight without any turns. Their roads are always in a straight way. There is no turn or no U-turns are there. If we talk about the drainage system is very unique feature of this town planning, and this type of drainage system is not found anywhere except island of Crete and Mediterranean Sea. They built this drainage system to drain dirty water out of the town. So with this we can say that they are very careful about their hygiene and the health. Each house is as a cesspit. This cesspit is called that to always keep the waste of the toilet. If we talk about the public bath, or we can call the swimming pool, swimming pool is also found from the excavation of the Mohenjo-daro, and it's a huge bath. Arrangement of a put fresh water in and dirty water out. In this huge in this public bath, or we can say in this huge swimming pool, they have an arrangement of a fresh water to put in the swimming pool, and they keep out the dirty water from the this swimming pool. And we can also find that they might be have a, they might, we are not sure, but they might be have a hot water facilities, and they have a changing room also. This swimming pool or this huge public bath is used for festival and a religious ceremony. If we talk about the public building, there are the found of a ruins of a two huge building. They have a two public building, or this may be one may be a town hall or a theater or an administrative office or a granary, or another is used for the barrack for the soldier. Barrack for the soldier means the stay area of the soldier. Let's talk about the Harappa. Harappa. Okay, Harappa is discovered very ancient remains of an Indus Valley civilization from the Montgomery in the Punjab near Harappa. So this is the first location where we find the remains of the Indus Valley civilization, and that's why we can call also Harappan civilization, that we'll learn about later. In 1921, Dayaram Shani, under the leadership of Sir John Marshall and Colonel Megg, they started excavation here. Remains of Indus Valley civilization were found as follows. First in Rapa, that is in Himalayan region, Alamgirpur, that is in Meerut, Kalibangan, that is in Rajasthan, Lothal, that is in Dhodka, Gujarat, Deshalpur in Kutch, Dholavira, Rangpur, that is in Limdi, Saurashtra, Srinathgarh in Rojdi or Gondal, and Kuntasi near the Morbi or Somnath. This all area having the Indus Rivers area or Indus River bank, and that's why this all area called Indus Valley civilization. If we talk about the Indus Valley civilization, it was also called Sapta Sindhu river region. The river Sapta Sindhu means Saraswati river, Indus river, Satluj river, Ravi river, Chenab river, or Vipas river, or we can call as the Rig Veda Sukta Nadi Suti, Sutudri, Parushini, Asikni, Vitasa, or Vipas river. So Saraswati and Indus have more 5 different tributaries. The culture which developed here is known as Indus Valley civilization. So on the bank of the river of this 7 river called Indus Valley civilization, it remained first found from Harappa, and that's why it's called Harappan civilization. We can also call Copper and Stone Age because we found copper and stone weapons from here. Their town planning was very systematic. Even we found granaries and forts. People are fond of wearing ornaments, and such remains were also found. So we learned many things about this Harappan civilization, or we found Indus Valley civilization on the river of Saraswati, Indus River, Satluj or Satadri, Parushini, Asikni or Chenab, Vetasha or Jhelum or Vipas, or we can say Bias River. That's why we call it Indus Valley civilization. Now Dholavira is the third state or third location where we find the remains of Indus Valley civilization. Same, Dholavira is also a huge and systematic town. It is near about the Bhuj, or we can say the Bachao district. Archaeological Department of Gujarat surveyed this heap. So first of all, Archaeology Department of the Gujarat started excavation. Then in 1990, Archaeological Department of India undertaken this research and they start excavation and they found many remains here. Special task was carried out by the exhibition under the guidance of Ravindra Singh Bist. So they prepared the special task for the exhibition, and who is leading this thing, or Ravindra Singh Bist leading this exhibition. Remains of Dholavira places and main wall of a town were painted with the white color. So we found some different thing here. We found that their wall, this wall, you can say this wall is painted with the white color. Wall is made up of a clay, stone and brick. So this wall is made up of a clay, stone and brick. We can find the remains of a clay, stone and a bricks from the wall. They have a potable water, or we can say groundwater. They have a technology that brings the water from the ground, and they made a purification of this water. Or from the historians, they said they have a very beautiful purification system. Even this contemporary India doesn't have the same thing. Lothal. Lothal is situated at the Dhodka district, Ahmedabad. It has a very beautiful dock here. This is the dockyard. They park their ships, their boats here in case of to put down some goods from the ship, or sometimes they use this dockyard to keep their ship and boat from the flood. So Lothal is 80 km far away from the Bay of Khambat. There they found three layers of a human habitat. Same thing in that we have learned in Mohenjo-daro. Upper layer, sorry, citadel. Then we have a upper layer. Then we have a lower layer. So these three things found from the same, from the Lothal also. Lothal is a huge dockyard. Dockyard is situated at lower eastern part of the town. Was constructed to facilitate the ship in the time of high tide. Means whenever they found the high tide in the river, they keep their boats and the ships in the dockyard. This is a unique feature of the Lothal. We have learned the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa or Dwarka, but they don't have a dockyard. But in this Lothal, we found dockyard, and that's why it's a unique feature of Lothal. So this dockyard proved that they are doing a business of exports and imports, and this is a rich and prosperous part of India. In the time of Indus Valley civilization, this is the very rich and prosperous part of India. This gave us pride, not only Gujarat but in the history of India. So now we are learning about the great leader Ashoka. This is the photo of the great leader, the Ashoka. You all know the great leader about the Ashoka, and this is here the very beautiful sculpture of Ashoka. Ashoka is from the Mauryan dynasty, and here are some sculpture and architecture from the Mauryan art. So very beautiful art of the Mauryan is a stupa. Stupa. Stupa is always in oval shape that have a remains of a Lord Buddha in a box. The very famous five stupa are Stupa of Sanchi, Stupa of Sarnath, Stupa of Bharat, Stupa of Nandargarh, and Stupa of Devni Mori. So here is the photo of Stupa of Sanchi. This is the photo of Stupa of Sanchi. Chaitya Vihar Math were construction. In this stupa they built Chaitya Vihar Math. The period of King Ashoka was a golden period for Buddhist religion and age of a sculpture. We all know in the Mauryan dynasty they made many sculpture and many architecture. So this stupa is also the part of the sculpture and the architecture. Even they managed and they organized very beautifully the Buddhist religion. These are the 5 beautiful stupa or the most famous stupa among India. This is the stupa of Sarnath, stupa of Bharat, stupa of Bharat, stupa of Nandangarh, stupa of Devni Mori, and stupa of Sachi. These 5 are the most beautiful and most famous stupa among the India. Last we learn about the linear sketch of stupa. Stupa has the 4 things. One is Harmika, Midi, Pradakshina Path and the Toran. We can say Harmika. If we talk about the Harmika, Harmika is the railing in the stupa. This is the stupa and the railing around the stupa. This railing is called Harmika. Then we talk about the Medi or Medi. This is the circular path, circular path for the Pradakshina, and Pradakshina Path, when this is the Pradakshina Path where people walk and doing the Pradakshina of the stupa. Here is the most important thing is that when they start walking for the Pradakshina, their right hand is sides of stupa, means they are walking in the clockwise. They walk clockwise. And the last but not the least, Toran. Toran means the entry gate of the stupa. This is the entry gate. They have a horizontal beam, and this beam devoted as a use a Toran as a entrance. So this is today's topic. We learn about the sculpture, the architecture, Mauryan art for 4 very famous Indus Valley civilization area, that is the Mohenjo-daro. Then we learn about the Harappa, then we learn about the Dhodka, and then we learn about the Lothal. So here we are stopping this session and we are concluding this session today. Thank you very much all of you.